Coming up tonight on YCN News, the red-tailed hawk could become New Hampshire's state raptor. Governor Shumlin has a plan to end homelessness in Vermont. And Hanover, New Hampshire holds a pre-town meeting. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening. It is Monday, March 30th. I'm Laura James. Welcome to YCN News. Well, a bridge that connects west central New Hampshire with southern Vermont and leads to two major interstates is set for closure later this year. While the bridge connecting Route 12 in New Hampshire and Route 11 in Vermont will be closed for 5 days, the repair will include up to 8 weeks with only one lane of traffic. Alternate routes through Walpole and Claremont will be set up while the repair work continues. A meeting to review bridge repair plans is set for Wednesday beginning at 6:30 p.m. in Charlestown. The forum will be held in the Charlestown, New Hampshire Community Room. The building is located at 26 Railroad Street. Out of the mouths of babes, sometimes adults can learn to listen. After a grade school group's plan to name a bird as New Hampshire's state raptor was met with ridicule by some legislators, a new plan is now unfolding. New Hampshire Senate Democratic leader Jeff Woodburn is planning to pick up the ball to get the red-tailed hawk named as the state raptor. The original House Bill 373 was killed, and now it will be amended. And the work of the 4th grade students at the Lincoln Ackerman School in Hampton Falls will continue. Woodburn is a former civics teacher and understands the lessons behind a school exercise to study how a bill is introduced and the legislative process. Woodburn says lawmakers have an opportunity to right a serious wrong and provide a meaningful and teachable moment, not only to young people, but to adults as well. Woodburn also says today that students need to know they are welcome in the State House and they will be treated with respect and civility. He is hopeful the entire Senate will support this amendment. The amendment will be part of the House Bill 423, which designates the bobcat as the state wildcat. A House committee has not yet scheduled House Bill 423 for a public hearing. Well, 2 towns in our area have yet to hold a town meeting, choosing to do so later in the year as allowed by the New Hampshire statute. The towns of Hanover and Newport are preparing for their meetings, and the Hanover Board of Selectmen will hold a public hearing on the 2015 to 2016 town budget on Monday, April 6th. The meeting begins at 7:30 p.m. in the Municipal Buildings Boardroom. That's at 41 South Main Street in downtown Hanover. Newport on April 7th will hold its deliberative session beginning at 6 p.m. Tuesday, April 7th in the Town Hall. Voting will take place from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Tuesday, May 12th, also taking place in their Town Hall. And the bellwether year 2020 is fast approaching. And with that, Vermont Governor Peter Shumlin has set the year to end family homelessness. A grant of $580,000 will be used to help the more than 1,500 Vermonters without housing on any given night and families with children find permanent housing. Governor Shumlin and Human Services Secretary Hal Cohen says the grant will be used in the state's most populated county, Chittenden. The grant will be used to repair and upgrade affordable housing units throughout this county. Coming up on YCN News, a Vermont State Trooper is treated and released for a crash on Route 7. Dartmouth men's baseball takes on UPenn for a doubleheader, and a very changeable weather forecast is on tap once again for the beginning of the week. All when YCN News returns.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Laura James. A Vermont State Trooper is in good condition despite the cruiser he was sitting in being rammed by a driver who lost control of his car this morning on Route 7. Although the calendar says spring, winter weather continues its mighty grip with snow falling this morning throughout the region of northern New England. Trooper Benjamin Barton of Bennington was wearing his seatbelt and sitting in his assigned cruiser when a car driven by another motorist lost control of the car. That driver fled the scene. The 2010 Crown Vic Cruiser's left side door, fender, and bumper took the brunt of the crash. Now, the crash happened on exit 3 in Sunderland, Vermont. Troopers at the scene identified the car as a 2013 to 2015 Subaru Crosstrek, gray or silver in color. Anyone with information regarding the crash is asked to please contact Sergeant Turner at the Shaftesbury Barracks. That number is 802-442-5421. On a brighter note, this in from the Library Arts Center in Newport. Come one, come all. They want you to be a part of this fun springtime competition. The Library Arts Center is pleased to host a lighthearted creative contest using the iconic Easter candies, Peeps, to Newport and surrounding communities once again in 2015. Now, community members of all ages, businesses, school, classrooms, groups, and organizations are encouraged to enter. Dioramas will be on display this Saturday, April 4th through April 11th during regular gallery hours. The hours are Tuesday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Lynn Solomon sat down for a conversation with Susan Hankenberg. She's with McSwiney Semple, Hankenberg and Wood in New London, New Hampshire, and that interview is coming up.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Mike Pizzone. It was a sloppy start to the week with cold temperatures and even a little bit of snow this morning, but things will be warming up in the next couple days. Skies will be mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 27 degrees, but 5 to 10 mile-per-hour winds and gusts of up to 25 could make it feel much colder at times. Clouds will break up in time for tomorrow morning, making for mostly sunny skies with a high of 42 degrees and low of 18 tomorrow evening. It will still be somewhat windy during the day with gusts of up to 20 miles per hour, but that should taper off in time for the evening. Wednesday will bring bright sunny skies with a high of 39 degrees and low of 22 in the evening. Taking a look at the satellite images, we can see those clouds over us heading off now. They'll leave us with sunny skies to go along with this warmer weather that should last us throughout most of the week, although some rain showers are possible Friday morning. And hopefully that bright sun and warm air will clear out the last of the snowbanks and make it look a bit more like spring out there. Now let's take a look at our community calendar to see what's happening in the area. Red, white, and blue trivia at the library will be held tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the Richard Freed Library on North Main Street in Newport, New Hampshire. You can bring your own team or join one the night of the event and earn prizes including 2 tickets to Mount Sunapee. Call 603-863-3430 for more information. AquaZone, a supervised playtime at the Upper Valley Aquatic Center in White River Junction, Vermont, will be held tomorrow from 4:30 to 7 p.m. Cost is $8 per child and is open to children ages 5 through 13. Call 802-296-2850 for more information. A fundraising dinner for the American Cancer Society will be held Wednesday from 5 to 8 p.m. at Bubba's Bar and Grill in Newbury, New Hampshire. Cost is $20 for adults and $10 for children. Call Linda Niklos at 203-731-4471 to make a reservation. It'll still be another week or so before our local high school teams head into action, but there was plenty going on the college level over the weekend. The Dartmouth baseball team fought its way to a dramatic split with Ivy League rival Pennsylvania yesterday, with help from some late-inning heroics from senior Matt Parisi in the nightcap. The Big Green dropped the first game of the day-night doubleheader 4-3 and trailed 2-1 heading into the final inning of Game 2, before Parisi's 2-out double drove in a pair of runs to give the visiting team its first lead of the game. Parisi scored moments later on a double off the wall from junior Nick Rupert to plate what proved to be the game-winning run. Freshman Justin Fowler started the rally after being hit by a pitch with 1 out already recorded, before Mac McDowell's single to right with 2 outs put 2 men on for Parisi. Penn pulled within 1 on an infield single in the bottom of the 9th, but freshman hurler Patrick Peterson induced the game-ending pop-out to catcher Adam Gauthier with a tying run on third to seal the victory. Peterson earned the win from the mound, allowing 1 earned run on 4 hits through 3 innings of work. Dartmouth improved to 4-6 with the win, while Penn fell to 5-9. The Kobe Sawyer baseball team did have some good news this weekend despite suffering a pair of losses to Huston University, as senior catcher Rob Wallace broke a school record by throwing out his 36th base runner trying to steal. The previous record was 35, set in 2011. The Dartmouth softball team also played a doubleheader over the weekend, earning a pair of shutout wins over Columbia with help from a no-hitter by senior pitcher Kristen Rumley in Game 1. Rumley pitched in both contests, striking out a combined 14 batters over 12 innings. And on an international note, Hanover native Hillary Knight finished with 2 goals and an assist in the U.S. women's hockey team's 4-1 victory over Finland yesterday to improve to 2-0 in pool play of the Women's World Hockey Championships. The U.S. will take on Russia tomorrow. I'm Mike Pizzone, and that's your look at sports with YCN News.
Thank you, Mike. Jill Kenny is New Hampshire Executive Counselor from District 1, and YCN's Capital Connections' John O'Connor begins the first of a 4-part series this week when YCN News continues.
The YCN News continues in a moment.